guys, I'm Tim, the Lockpicking Patrolman, and today I'm thinking about keys, specifically the cuts on a key, and what that might do to foil a picking attack on a lock. Now, we all take keys for granted, right? I mean, we've got our keys. There's something that we know that you have to have in your hand before you get out of the car. There's something that you'll need in order to get into your office or get into your home at night when you get home from work. But other than that, we really don't think about them, and we really don't think about the cuts on the keys. I mean, you know, yeah, they're up and down, and that's about it. We might have a few keys that are cut kind of unusual, or maybe they're shaped a little bit differently, but generally we don't pay much attention to them in our everyday lives, do we? I mean, after all you do is take the key, put it in the lock, turn it, and it opens, right? So how does a lock actually work? Well, you have two sets of pins, one in the bottom here that directly interacts with the key, and then you've got corresponding pins up here in the top of the lock that are held down with spring pressure. You can see it pop up right there, push up and down because there's a spring pushing this way on that pin. Now, when that pin is pushed down into these little holes here on what's called the plug, or the part that you put your key into and turn it, if I can get that balanced right there. No, that is not a top pin, but it shows how it keeps the lock from turning. Just imagine this under spring pressure. So this won't let the plug turn, which in turn doesn't let the actuator turn to move the bolt. Put the right key in, you can see all these little pins pop up and down, and it overcomes that spring pressure, and each of these little bottom pins are cut to different lengths. So you can put the key in, the key has the right cuts, brings these little pins up to the right heights, and then the lock can turn. Now, picking a lock involves taking, of course, your pick and a turning tool, and you use the turning tool to apply pressure to these top pins, and because of manufacturing defects in locks, it allows each of these pins to bind up separately. When you find a binding pin, or when you're picking, you search through, lifting up pin by pin with your pick, trying to find one that is binding, and when you do, you lift it up and it overcomes that and allows the plug to turn just so. What is my theory today? Well, this is a typical factory cut quickset key, and this one has also been seen from factory cut. You can see there's not much variation in it. Just this third cut is a little bit deeper than the others. However, I've made a couple special ones where there are some deep cuts in the front, and of course this sawtooth one. Now, why would I do that? Well, when you pick a lock and you have your pick inserted, these front pins here are going to be in the way, and the theory that I have is that if you have longer pins in the front or longer pins throughout, it'll be harder to set the higher cut ones or the shorter pins in the back without knocking these front ones into the upper chambers. So let's go ahead and see how that works. So you sharp-eyed viewers at home probably have noticed that I'm only using Kwikset for this experiment. And why? I mean, after all, there's Yale, there's ASSA, and then there's also Schlage. Why am I using just Kwikset? Well, it's also probably the most common residential lock in use in America. and it comes with everything. And even if you don't buy the Kwikset brand, you might have a lock similar to what I have on the front door of my shop, which is a Kwikset clone. It's manufactured to the same specifications as far as the key and the depths on the key and the lengths of the little key pins. So in short, to answer your question, the reason why is that's the most common lock here in the United States. So now you are probably freaking out thinking that a thief can pick the lock on your door in like 10 seconds. Well, if the thief was experienced, maybe. But most thieves who are looking to break into your house and steal your television, your computer, your grandmother's cast iron skillet that she gave to you, they're not going to spend the time to pick the lock. Why? Well, it's because every lock picks differently. See, you can take a lock like this, or a lock like this, or even a high security lock like this, and they're all going to take different times to pick. No matter how they're keyed up, no matter what the cuts of the key are, they're going to take different times because every lock picks differently. Kind of like an oven. Ovens always cook differently, you know, microwaves too. So we just saw something really amazing, and that is that keys cut to the extreme like this and like this took twice as long to pick as regular or substandard keys like this. So what does that mean? All right, so now you're probably wondering, what can I do to my locks in order to make them more secure? Well, it doesn't really start with the lock, but you can do a few simple things, even do them yourself if you're kind of DIY savvy. First thing you can do, since most thieves are going to kick the door in, you need to have a good heavy-duty security strike plate. This is what mounts to the wall, and this one's a lot thicker than what you get with your door lock at the big box store. Also, you need to get some long screws like that to secure it to that wall so that it goes in all the way to the framing of your house. If you haven't changed your keys to your locks in a while, then call your local locksmith. Tell them that you want the house rekeyed. They can do it for you, and it doesn't cost that much money. Besides, you don't know who has a copy of the keys to your house. Also, don't post any pictures of your keys online, because simple keys like the Kwikset and even the Schlage can be decoded by people who are familiar with locks and can actually make a copy of the key to your house to where they don't even have to pick it. So forget posting pictures of your new keys to your new place online. Go ahead and get the security hardware installed. And if you've not had your keys changed in a while, go ahead and call your local locksmith. Have them come out and do it for you. You can also talk to them about getting a lock. If you have a Kwikset lock, you can talk to them about pricing on getting a lock other than Kwikset, something like a Schlage or maybe a Yale key, which those have much more combinations of the up and down. Plus, you can get those with 6 pins instead of just 5. Anyway, thanks for joining me today, guys. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. As always, please check out the other Locksport channels. There are a million of them out there. Well, maybe not a million, but there's thousands of them out there worldwide. Great people, all of them cat lovers. Check me out on Twitter. Also go on Twitter and check out Cats with No Hope. I did a video on that a few weeks ago, so please check her out. Support her if you can. And anyway, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you next time.